You get all that within a minute?
Johnston, and the issue before you is how to jumpstart the economy, which is something that certainly we need to pay attention to. And the reason that I have credentials to do this is because I've twice been the mayor of the city of Sayville for 2 terms. I've worked with the MPO to bring $10 million back for jobs now rather than for some study down the road a long ways. I was standing there when they flushed all the dirty water down in the Caloosahatchee and managed to get the attention of the relevant agencies to get them to pay attention to this part of Florida. I dealt with a budget for a transit authority with 6,000 employees. You can look at carlajohnstoncampaign.com. I headed the Regional Planning Council, and I think it's time to work with our staff in the county and the partners in all the businesses to jumpstart this economy. Why should you vote for me? You should vote for me in November because I'm running as a no-party affiliate because I think that this issue is too important to get divided up with partisan politics and smart. I offer skill, vision, energy, and a broad background that will help us get where we're going. Let's get it done.
Okay, now we will do one question that will be geared to all the candidates and the particular races. The question for the Commission 1 race: what is the single most important issue to Lee County within the next 1 to 2 years? Carla?
Well, what I just mentioned, jumpstarting the economy. I think that the county government is very important in terms of helping to do that. First of all, we can cut the budget more. We can reduce taxes for people so their burden isn't so great. Secondly, we can make sure that we provide the resources that the current businesses need to stabilize their businesses so that we don't have any more of a problem. We can get jobs on the street for people who are currently unemployed. But equally important and more important long term is that we can develop a vision for how to have Fort Myers be a new entrance to the Everglades with new high-tech and green technology.
30 seconds. Lower taxes. Lower taxes now. That's what the message has to be. It's the message that Amendment 1 sent everyone in this room back in January. We need to lower taxes, just like we did in Cape Coral last year. And it does go beyond that. Besides lowering taxes, we don't need to cut services to do that. We cut more efficient. Go through the lean program like we did in Cape Coral and cut many positions. It's unfortunate they don't have positions, but again, you're paying for it. I think with lower taxes, you stimulate the economy, a better county for everyone. Thank you.
Don't you just love these people? Anyway, if that was all good plans, then why are people fleeing out of our county every single day? Well, even quicker than you can say lower taxes. My vision of the county would be creating another industry without paying people to come here. I know people believe in paying people to come here. Not me. People should be paying us to come here. If we took care of our counties, our beaches and our reservoirs and everything else, people would be flying in to live here in the county. Have you noticed that nobody shows from Annabelle? For the last weekend, I have friends in town that are viewers. They spent thousands to come here, and they can't even use the beach. But if we had my Edison Ford Firestone theme park and sound stages, they could have went and watched the game show to take off some of that stress. GerardDavidJr.com.
Thank you. The number one overarching problem of everything is how do you manage growth? Because Lee County, believe it or not, in spite of the dire economic situation we find ourselves in, is in fact growing in population. We are adding 20,000 people this year, which is a significant increase. That's about the size of a small town. How do we provide the infrastructure for them? How do we meet their needs as well as be able to reduce taxes? I think if you read the paper this morning, you will see a bright light in terms of the impact that the taxes will have on your wallet this year. Thank you. I'm James, County Commissioner, District 1.
Thank you all very much. Next up will be the County Commission race for District 3. It has Anita Saracita, Ray Judah, and Les Conner. Please come up.
The Boca Two theme park. I gotta start talking. I think that's a good one.
The Wally World, right? Dolly World.
Good afternoon, I'm Les Conner. Commissioner, as you already know, in November, as an independent, just the winner of two individuals. I want to first say, I'm not a politician. I'm a citizen that's simply fed up with tax dollars. I'm retired president of Youngstown State University, and I am the only candidate in the race that has 30 years of administrative and executive experience. I've managed to budget over $100 million, and believe it or not, I've managed 450 PhDs. Those of you that know anything about a university would know that's not an easy job. I come to you with one pledge, and that is to bring a little business sense to county government, rather than solving problems by spending dollars and cents. It is more than responsible growth. It is responsible growth and responsible government. It is Les Cochran, www. Les Cochran.com. Thank you very much.
This is absolutely the best crowd we've had an opportunity as candidates to speak to for the whole entire campaign trail, and I thank you all very much for being here. I'm Anita Saracita. This is my card, and on it has my telephone number, my email address, my website. If you have any kind of question at all for me, don't hesitate to call me or write me. I'm running in this race because I believe that government should be more efficient, productive, and responsive. I'm a small business owner, and I believe that business owners are the leaders of this community. Business owners provide jobs. Business owners keep the economy moving. And it is essential that small business owners throughout Lee County have the tools they need to stay in business. In my community alone, Fort Myers Beach, there are easily 10 businesses that have gone out, closed their doors in the last month and a half. I drive throughout Lee County and I see it everywhere I go. I want to do what needs to be done to make Lee County a more thriving environment for small businesses everywhere.
Hi, I'm Ray Cooter, your Lee County Commissioner. I just want to thank the Fort Myers Chamber of Commerce for holding the event today and allowing various candidates to state their position. For those of you, please feel free to look at my brochure. You'll see my list of accomplishments, but more importantly, you'll see a photograph of my wife, Kristen. For 24 years, she's a case manager at Shelburne Retirement Community, and also our 19-year-old son, Callan, who is a cadet at the United States Air Force Academy. I'm very proud that I've been able to hold firm to my core beliefs of managing growth and providing protection of our precious natural resources, such as the expansion of the international airport, providing some $3.6 billion in business activity in this community, and also the acquisition of some 65,000 acres of environmentally sensitive land to protect our critical water supplies and open space. I believe that I've been able to provide that balance. I'm very proud of that fact, but also realize that we do not just want to hope for economic recovery, we want to stimulate it. And our board has been very focused on moving forward with the ground lease, with the Madden Group to provide a biotech research development business park near the old international airport, and a $169 million economic stimulus package for public works projects to keep our hardworking families working and provide the infrastructure to maintain our quality of life. Appreciate your support on August 26th. Thank you very much.
Did you notice how when he saw me stand up, he started talking a lot faster? Okay. The question for the Commission 3 race: how do we find balance between progress and conservation in Lee County?
Sure, I'm happy to take it. Back in 1994, I was chairman of the Board of County Commissioners, and I worked very hard to be at the forefront of recognizing we needed to expand our international airport. As I mentioned earlier, we now have a new midfield terminal because we knew that was the economic engine for growth and development of this community. But I also recognized that we were going to be saddled with the prospects of finding a no significant impact that we would hopefully be able to obtain from the regulatory agencies, because we had Florida Panthers roaming around where the new midfield terminal is located. So what I was able to do was to get the Board of County Commissioners to actually acquire some 6,000 acres of land in advance, which allowed us to process the permitting and the time frame within which we were able to build that international airport. So here we have an international airport that is our basis, our economic engine, as I said, $3.6 billion in business activity, but also the acquisition of environmentally sensitive lands to make sure that we protect this precious, unique environment that we call home. So there is a way to provide a balance. Certainly the Conservation 2020 and improved land acquisition programs that allow us to protect and purchase those environmentally sensitive lands and yet still provide an environment in which we promote and stimulate economic development. We can have it both ways. We can definitely balance our growth needs, our development needs, but also protect our precious natural resources. Thank you.
In 1995, my community incorporated because we did not believe a good enough job was being done to balance those needs. When I look out my dining room window, I look at Estero Bay, rated a D- by the Conservancy of Southwest Florida. I don't think a good enough job has been done to balance the growth that's been created in the south end of the county and the delicate estuary systems of Estero Bay, just as one example. I'd like to challenge you to think about kind of an oddball answer to this question. And that is that I think you need someone who's a leader and not a politician in office. And there's a distinct difference. I think you need somebody who has led a real life, not just a life involved in county government. Somebody who understands the impacts of the decisions made by county government. I'm Anita Saracita. I'm asking you for your support. My phone number is on this card. Please call me.
Again, I'm Les Cochran. I think we have to have a dual focus. We have to find a way to live within our means. That means we have to find ways to reduce spending, cut taxes, and give back to the people. We can do that. We can have a smaller government, and we can have a more efficient and better government by doing that. The second thing we have to do is place water as our first and foremost priority. We cannot get more water drilling out of the DRGR area. We cannot get more water out of the rivers. We do not have a plan. Out of 19 pages in the League Commission County Plan to say anything about water. There are 19 pages. There's not anything about desalinization or reverse osmosis. We do not have a plan to deal with our future. We have to find a way, other than growth, to live within our means. And that means cutting the budget and spending in a reasonable fashion. It is Les Cochran at www.lescochran.com. Thank you.
Up next, we have the County Commission race for District 5. Steve Halls, Dick Hunt, Frank Mann, and Sean Sullivan. Please join us up front.
Got a quick story here. I'm Frank Mann. Quick story to illustrate a point. I'm from Alvin. There was a young fellow named Chuck moved to Alvin not too many years ago. He bought a donkey from a farmer for $100. The farmer agreed to deliver the donkey the next day. The next day he drove up and said, "Sorry, son, but I got some bad news. The donkey died." Chuck replied, "Well, just give me my money back." The farmer said, "Can't do that. I went and spent it already." Chuck said, "Okay, then just bring me the dead donkey." The farmer said, "You can't. What are you going to do with him?" He said, "I'm going to raffle him off." The farmer said, "You can't raffle off a dead donkey." Chuck said, "Sure, why can't watch me? I just won't tell anybody he's dead." A month later, the farmer met up with Chuck and asked, "What happened to the dead donkey?" Chuck said, "I raffled him off, sold 500 tickets, $2 a piece, made a profit of $898. Farmer said, "Did anyone complain?" Chuck said, "Just the guy who won, so I gave him his $2 back." Chuck went on and became a county commissioner. To hear some folks tell it, you'd think all Frank Mann does is sit down there at the courthouse and raffle off donkeys. Folks, I love this county. I was born here. I'm going to do everything I can to take care of it. I think I've shown that in the 20 years or so that I've been honored to serve you in various capacities. I'm going to keep on doing the tough job I think I'm trying to do. Thank you. Oh, here.
There goes my hair care joke. Folks, my name is Sonny Haas. Sonny will be on my billboards, signs, cards, and most people here that you know me. I am a native Floridian, LaBelle graduate, Lehigh Acres resident, 18 years. 30 years combined service in our local fire service and our building commit community. I have firsthand knowledge on making things better, especially in emergency services. Our relationship between our hospitals, our trauma services, our fire districts, and our EMS service has to be better and run efficiently. It is very fact. I am your nonpartisan candidate. November 4, please remember me to see me around. We're going to make our EMS service very efficient, which will resonate to our fire districts, and we will get our consolidated fire services. November 4, Sunny Hospitals. Thank you.
Thank you for having me this afternoon. I'm Sean Selger, Republican candidate for Lee County Commission District 5. I'm running because it's time for a change. It's time to make Lee County better. I'm the only candidate in this District 5 primary that has not been a part of the problem of government. With your help, I'd like to be a part of the solution. We need to do a better job in reining in county government spending and lowering our tax burden. I understand and I care that people and families are hurting right now. They're struggling because of our economy and they're having a hard time making it. I care that our unemployment rate has gone up from 2.8 to 8.4% in approximately 2 years, and people are struggling and having a hard time. That's why I would like to see us diversify our economy, to create more local jobs for people and for families, to help get people back to work again. We live in the best and most beautiful part of the state of Florida and the country, and my top and foremost concern will always be improving and preserving our environment. I know together we can make Lee County better, improve our environment, and get our economy moving again. Thank you for having me.
Good afternoon, I'm Dick Kuhn. I've been living in Fort Myers, Florida for the last 30 years. I came from Minnesota. I graduated with a BA in Business Administration. I worked in the court system and in the county budget office for a total of 24 years. I know how to do a budget, I know how to look at a budget, and I know how to find facts. The main thing I think we need right now, unfortunately, is jobs. We are tied to a boom and bust cycle in tourism and construction. We have to diversify our economy tremendously. Otherwise, we're going to stick in this economy. We all are probably feeling the effects of having such an economy. We have to have more business, more business, more business, more business. This has to be tempered, of course. Our beautiful counties the way we want it. Vote for me in November.
Okay. Candidates for Commission 5, your question is, how do we keep the Red Sox in Lee County?
Frankly, I don't think they're legal. Whatever Sarasota County has to come up with will cost about $70 million. Whatever we have to do in improvements around here probably might be 10, might be 15, but we don't even know because they haven't told us what they want yet. But we're in a much better position. We've got some dollars for the CDC we can free up. I don't think they're going anywhere, but as soon as we know what they're asking for, I'm going to fight like y'all people.
One thing's for sure, we're not going to spend ad valorem taxes to keep them here, as far as I'm concerned. Very good. We're in a really good pickle, to be honest with you. If they want a bigger facility and they want more room or they want to be closer to the airports and whatnot, we've got Lehigh, we've got down south, we've got the growth area to accommodate them. That's kind of a neat thing. But it's going to be give or take, and it can't be on the backs of our taxpayers. I'm against that all the way.
first let me say, I'm a Boston Red Sox fan, and they are vital to our culture here in Lee County as well as our economy, and I would like to see them stay. However, my friends, I do not support an any and all cost approach to making that happen. I will oppose any tax or fee increase to keep them here. I will not support the use of any ad valorem tax dollars to make that happen as well. I think we can look at other options, such as potentially utilizing the veg tourist tax to make that happen, as well as looking at renegotiating the prior stadium in the city of Palms in terms of getting some bonding out of that as well. I know it's going to take a commissioner that knows how to negotiate. I, as an attorney, have negotiated in hundreds of cases to achieve positive settlements and results for my clients, and I'd like to have the opportunity to be your employee. I appreciate your vote and support on August 26th. Thank you.
Well, I feel the Red Sox do good to our community, good to our economy. It'd be a good thing to retain. However, it's not on the back of the taxpayer, no matter one tax. We have to do it with our tourist tax. I think we can do it. We also have areas around town which can be redeveloped. Not just taking a new area, falling under the palm trees and planting concrete. Redevelop areas that have run down at this time. Use those areas to make what is needed for the team rather than taking your resources. No ad valorem taxes.
Recommendation 5. Okay. Up next, we have the property appraisers race. Can I have Kyle Lee, Larry St. Mark, and Kim Wilkinson up, please?
Everybody's taking their time. I'm Larry Samont. I'm running for property appraiser. I'll be on the ballot in November. I came to Lee County in 1970. I have 2 children and 2 grandchildren. I love Lee County and I can't imagine living anywhere else. The thing I want to bring to this office is my business experience, and yes, you've heard that a few times today. I think we all know that it makes perfect sense, business sense. We've seen the county government get very fat, and I would say pretty happy with the amount of money they've had to spend. But there's a lot of issues in the property appraiser's race, and really what I would like to say is I have an action plan for what I think it'll take to fix it. So I need your support in November. I want to go to work for you. I need your support in November so we can fix the problems in the property appraiser's office. Thank you.
How's everyone doing tonight? I'd like to thank you guys for coming out. This is a great turnout. My name is Kyle Lee. I'm a Republican running against Mr. Wilkinson in August 26th primary. If you see the front page of today's paper, you'll see the trim notices are coming out. Property in Lee County is overassessed. The current system of assessing the property is broken, and I can fix it with your vote on August 26th. In January, taxpayers throughout Florida voted to double the homestead exemption to $50,000. What good is having a $50,000 homestead exemption if your property is overassessed? It's like throwing it out the window. Once again, my name is Kyle Lee, August 26th. We can fix it with your vote. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm John Glazier. I'm the Democratic candidate for property appraiser this year in Lee County. You should have all received one of these when you came in, so I'm not going to waste my minute going through my bio. Please check it out. You'll also see my website on there, and you'll see my experience. If you notice that when you came in, that's the graph. Since 2000, we have had our property values go up 345%, and this year they came down 12%. You might also notice that we've had a 40% increase in our population during that time, and that the Lee County government expenditures have increased 989% during that same 10-year period. So, if you're happy with the last 4 years, then I would say that you need to vote for the incumbent. If you want things to change, and if you want things to be different and to improve, then I would ask for your vote on November 4th. After you're through voting for Kyle Lee on August 26th, remember in November, Blazer for a Brazier.
Thank you all for being here. It is one of the better turnouts we've seen in a couple of months that we've been out on the trail, so to speak. My family came to Florida in '54, high schools here. Our sons went through public schools here. I didn't have much money, so I go in the Army for 4 years, Army Security Agency, 1 year in Vietnam. Finished college on the GI Bill for Florida Atlantic University. I've been endorsed by every endorsement that you can get for the primary, all the rest of it. I just want to read one quick quote. This is capable reading. Craig Wilkinson, Lee County's property appraiser since 1980, is asking voters for another term in office. He has earned it handily. While many in elected office talk about effecting change, Mr. Wilkinson has brought change about, and there's not a taxpayer in Lee County who has not benefited from his dedication, expertise, and decades-long tenure of putting the people who put the bills first. Trust me, now is not the time to train a new property appraiser. You got them, and I do one heck of a job. I got a great staff, and I appreciate you being here. Be sharp, vote Wilkinson. How's that?
Okay, gentlemen. The question for the property appraiser's office is, explain the recapture rule and how it affects Lee County. Ryan, will take this first.
Hi, Blazer for appraisal. The recapture rule was in 1992. They did Save Our Homes. It came into effect January 1st of 95. The recapture rule was put in by the state legislature approximately September of 95. The recapture rule says that if your property values fall below your Save Our Homes, what will happen is your assessment will go down, your taxes will go up. So, in your mind, what you have to think of is, since that was 16 years ago, why is the incumbent complaining about what is done now? Where has he been for you for the last 16 years fighting for the recapture rule? Once again, I will fight for you. I will fight for you on November 4th if you elect me. Thank you very much. Blazer for appraisal.
The recapture rule this year is going to affect 95,000 property owners in Lee County. What people don't understand is with Save Our Homes, your taxes are going to go up 3% because the market assessed value of your property more than likely is more than the Save Our Homes amount. The problem with the assessments in the county is that they're too much. People don't realize, and I've had the opportunity to meet thousands of people throughout this election, it is a constitutional office. You're supposed to work for the people, fight for the people. Why not favor on their side? If the assessment's going to be wrong, why not have it be a little bit less instead of a little bit more? Like I said, we could change the system. It's broke. We could fix it. Kyle Lee, August 26th. Thank you.
Larry Salmon again, running for property appraiser on November 4th. Really, the recapture rule was put in place by the legislative body. It really wasn't taken to the voters like Save Our Homes was. It's been tried, been repealed, and unsuccessfully, I might add. And really, as far as I'm concerned, has very little to do with the property appraiser's office. The property appraiser's job is to correctly and fairly assess each parcel in Lee County, which is about 575,000 parcels. Now, the recapture rule, we can talk about it all day long, but really you need to take that problem to your state legislature, unfortunately. We can talk about it a lot, we'll see what Ken has to say, but that's what I know about the recapture rule, and it's also going to come into effect with the commercial properties now that we have a cap on it, so it'll be a hotly debated topic. Thank you. Tracy.
Obviously, I'm the best that can speak to it because I wrote Save Our Homes. I'm very proud of it. I hate to think what our society would be like if we didn't have that cap protection on primary residences in Florida. The way it works, the citizens change the Constitution. The legislature writes language to implement the constitutional change. Then the State Department that oversees that part of the statute in ad valorem taxation is the Department of Revenue. There's a reason why they call it Department of Revenue. They perceive their job as to get as much money as they can for government. In that process, they wrote a rule that said in any year that the market goes down on a homesteaded property, you have value that's capped, the differential it's called, then the property appraisers must recapture 3% added into the taxable value. It first occurred last year. We've been trying, when they passed that, I went to Tallahassee, got the governor and cabinet to hold a special meeting. We argued our case that was never the intent of Save Our Homes. I know, I wrote it. We lost that argument before the governor and cabinet. Nick Thompson put the bill in for us last year. We're going to put it again this year. Write your legislators, give them the change it, and get rid of it. Thank you.